Okay, so next thing we're going to do is sort of a louvered ceiling. And this is actually not too terrible. Let's say you wanted a quick louvered ceiling. They actually have a roof that you can use. So I'm going to go to my roof, or actually let's go to level 2 here. So I'm in level 2 and I'm going to go to my architecture and I'm going to go to roof by footprint. And in the pull down option is sloped glazing. So I'm going to pick sloped glazing and I'm going to draw a rectangle around where I want it. Okay. And these little triangles mean that these are going to slope and I want it to be flat. So I'm going to stop the rectangle command, just hit escape a couple of times, and then I'm window around all these little lines and I'm going to remove the defined slope. And that's going to remove those triangles and make it flat. And then I'm just going to hit the big green check. Okay, and let me get rid of level 1 and I'll go to so basically what I have is just a piece of glass, but what I can do with this is it has a system assigned to it, so you can see like a grid and a grid 1 and a grid 2. And so if I go to edit type, I'll just duplicate this and I'll name it, Louvers, and click OK. And you'll see that there's no curtain panel, so I'm going to come to the curtain panel and make it an empty system panel. And the join condition will leave it, but the layout grid for the first one, I'll just put fixed distance. So we'll say we want louvers every 9 inches. Okay, and we'll do the same for this one, fixed distance. Maybe we'll do maximum spacing. That may it'll get it as close to 9 inches as it can and make it even. So I'll do 9 inches. Or actually, maybe for grid 2 we won't do any. We'll do none for grid 2. And then for grid 1 mullions, for the interior, I'm just going to put a 1.5 by 2.5 rectangular for right now. And then if I click OK, you're going to see it's going to put these mullions in, right? So I'm starting to get this grid. If I pick this guy and edit type again, it has the interior. If I go ahead and put the same ones on the exterior, so 2.5 by 5, you'll get sort of a consistent grid. And then you could adjust those spacings to 6. If you want to change the louvers, so if you wanted them to be, let's say, thinner and longer, you'll have to make a new mullion, because basically we're faking Revit into thinking that this is a louver. And you can do the curtain walls the same way. So if you want a vertical version, there's also a curtain wall that acts exactly the same as this one. But what I'm going to do is I'll create a little mullion. So if I come into my families over here in my project browser, you'll see curtain wall mullions. And you come down and there's the rectangular mullion. And if you expand those, there's the mullions that we were selecting. I'm just going to double click on the 2.5 by 5. And it'll open up this dialog box and you'll see width on side 1, width on side 2, and thickness, right? So it's the thickness that we want to make really thick, so let's make that 1 foot. Let's make it really thin. So it splits it down the middle, so I'll just make it like a quarter. Let's make it a 1/2 inch instead of 2.5 inches, right? And then here's the material, so we could change the material if we wanted to. The other thing I should really do is duplicate it, right? Because I'm changing it. So I'll name it 0.5 by 12, right? And click OK. And then click OK. And then what I need to do is assign it to this guy. So if I come in and pick this and go to edit type, the interior type is set to the 1.5 by 2.5, and let's go ahead and set it to the 0.5, right? And we'll set this to the 0.5, and we'll set this to the 0.5, and click OK. And so now all those are set to that 0.5 and you're getting sort of these. Then you could go to that 0.5 and double click on it, and if you wanted to adjust the rotation, there's also a rotation. So if I wanted to put them at 45 degrees, I could hit apply, and now they're all rotating at 45 degrees, right? So that's also an option for a ceiling. We can do multiple things with the curtain wall. You can have another grid going the other way. We could make coffered ceilings out of it, all sorts of stuff. But that's just kind of a quick example of what you can possibly do, right? All right. What else did we want to go over with this? I'm not sure. I think that might be it for right now. It's certainly enough. If I think of any more things or you want me to show you some more things, just shoot me an email and I will add to the playlist.